Yo, hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's B-Rhy Express. Yo, what it do? Say what it do. Welcome to B-Rhy Express. You know who I am and what this is. This is Vampire the Masquerade doing shit. Let me stop. Welcome to B-Rhy Express. I'm your host B-Rhy, and you already know what it is. We are back with some more Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York. And, the story's been going on. We've been chilling with our homegirl right here. I forgot her name right now. Her girlfriend right there on the neck. That's her lady. She's not a vampire, but she also knows that her lady is a vampire. So that must be an interesting dynamic for a relationship. But I'm not one to judge. So let's jump right back into where we were and see what we can do for tonight. No, sing it with me now. No. A few minutes after I wake up, I see a message slipped under the apartment's front door. Kadir? Yep. Looks like he's got a few short widow. Looks like he got a few short window to meet me in Queens a few hours from now. Willits Point. A single suggestion: get ready for action. Fine then, I will. Best way to do it would be to clear my mind. Just walk without thinking. Reset the framework. Some fresh air should do it. Maybe a chance meeting with someone could get me out of this mental rut. Let me look at the world from a different angle for a while and improve my mood. Although when it comes to improving one's mood, nothing beats some crimson red pouring down my throat. Not to mention, these cigarettes taste better with a full stomach. Let's go. There's no place like home, and I need a little peace. Big beak burger, here I come, but wait, who is this lone? Somebody sitting at my table. Oh, I think we've met her before in the old game. She looks familiar. I think he looks familiar too. I'm being tailed. The last thing I need right now is a weirdo stalker following my every step. Did I take this investigation too far down the rabbit hole? Okay, well, she's clearly a vampire, so I don't get the feed on her. Let's see what this guy following us. I'm sure there are better ways of finding solitude than wandering aimlessly in the endless downpour. There are nights where I dive straight into a thiz crowd and vicariously enjoy their sweat, their hypnotic moves, and mindless self-indulgence. When my body starts to resonate with the relentless wall of sound, everyone disappears and I'm raptured into a perfect kind of isolation. Then there are those nights when I crash on the couch while Dakota goes on a rant about something so far removed from my area of interest, I zone out and enjoy the privacy of my own thoughts. But then there are moments like this one, nights when I just want everyone to shut the fuck up so I can think. Those nights I usually end up mindlessly strolling around along the rain swept streets before inevitably ending up at Big Beat Burger. Or at least that used to be the norm before this whole mess. Lately, even that kind of solitude seems out of my reach, especially when I'm being tailed by a poor man's Ethan Hunt on a crash diet. He's been following me for 10 minutes, and so far he's managed to bump into an empty newsstand, make enemies of several cab drivers, and even got bitch slapped by a living statue while trying to blend in. Damn. Not a good stalker, I would say. Making too much, being making it too obvious. Sigh. As he shortens the distance, I grab a nearby lamppost and swing myself around like Gene Kelly, using the momentum to quickly turn around and look right at him. Ah, hell nah. He springs up into the nearest alley. I wonder if he thinks that somehow I did not notice. Make sure he knows you notice. Hey, do me a favor, will you, asshole? Stop creeping on me. I'm about to walk away when an obnoxious voice, not belonging to the creep, catches my ear. It's coming from the same alley. It's followed by a loud crash from sounds like the metal side of a garbage dumpster, followed by a painful moan. Maybe the stalker got himself in trouble. Grab help? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be scared. Let me go check it out. I should let that creep deal with this himself. I should, but I won't. Can't have a moment's rest in this goddamn city, can I? As I barge into the alley, I notice two hooded jocks bullying my scrawny stalker. While the big guy wrestles uh, with a high-tech punching smartphone, the sleeker one keeps punching. How nice of them to share responsibilities. Potents fuck them up. Dominate turn them against each other. Oblivion scare them away. What do it mean by fuck them up? Do I get to eat them? Because I do need to feed. I haven't fed since the game started. I guess we fuck them up. I don't speak up. I just come in swinging. The big dude barely has a chance to drop the phone on the ground and put his arms up in defense. Not that it helps him much. I deviate his septum with a swift jab. He falls flat on his ass like a clumsy child, his nose bursting with blood. The scent makes me shudder. I fling him like a missile directly into smaller companion. This spectacular flight ends with the twin cracking of his broken rib, coupled with the smaller guy's head hitting against the wall. As the thug victim recovers, I shove both of their unconscious bodies into the garbage dumpster, right where they belong. I pick up the peculiar smartphone on my way over to the stalker. It doesn't take a genius to figure out it belongs to him. The screen is locked and glitches oddly as soon as I touch it. No surprises there. The stalker seems relieved, but at the same time, unnerved by the fact I'm holding his property. He tries to exhibit some confidence, but his trembling voice undermines the effort. Listen, I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but I'd like that back. It's not like you can use it anyway, right? The nervous smirk on his already punchable face kind of makes me wish I'd left him to his own devices. I'm of two minds about handing over something I could use to gain leverage over the sleazy asshole who's been stalking me for God knows how long. Let's tease him a little. What, this little thing right here? Yes, that little thing. Give it back. Are you sure you want it back? Looks so tasteless and dorky, overwhelmingly dorky. Wearing a Star Trek t-shirt and to an opera dorky. Like Elon Musk probably think it's chick and cool dorky. Chick and cool? Never heard of that phrasing, but okay, Julia. I ain't joking. Did you see that? I almost dropped it right into the storm drain. Shit, that was close. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. My boss would disembowel me on the spot if something happens to that phone. Say the magic word. Jesus fucking. Yeah, okay, please. Please, can I have it back? The second he tries something, it goes back into my hands and under my heel. There you go. He catches the phone with the liveliness of a little boy getting his first video game console. Thanks, Jules. I really appreciate that. He knows my name and makes a point of bragging about it. Not particularly subtle. Why the fuck are you following me? Are you with the Camarilla? Did somebody tell you to watch my steps? He looks confused when I mention the sex name. I realized that after the fact, it was probably a really stupid thing to say to a random. Yeah, probably was. Not sure what a caramella is. Sounds tasty. But my boss, he's an important guy. You want to be on his good side, let me tell you. That said, he doesn't tell me anything I don't need to know. And all I know is he wanted me to keep an eye on you tonight. Something, something, you're being watched, something, something, powerful friends. That's the best you've got? You're not getting anything else from me. If you want to finish what those alley rats started, go ahead, but you'll be wasting your time, Jules. The loser seems to brace for a hit, contorting his face into a confusing grimace which was probably meant to express bravado, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. Fair enough, but call me Jules again, and this time when you lose your phone, you'll need a proctologist to help you find it. That means she's gonna shove it up your ass, guy. Kinky, ain't you? I'll see you later. Oh, now he brave. You won't if you know what's good for you. He doesn't respond as he limps away. I realize that the rain is slowly letting up, and once more, I'm left with more questions than answers. Si es le refrain de ma vie, whatever that means. I decide to get on with my night and focus on the relief that comes with realizing I'm not the voyeuristic object of some creep's interest. Been there, done that, wouldn't recommend. Time to get a move on. It's time to get back to work. I step inside the subway and head for my meeting with Kadir. Oh, for fuck's sake, I thought you were kidding. Nope, I couldn't reach her, but I know for a fact Hope is there. He's pointing in the direction of a double spiral building. What is she doing there? I understand she's the current leader of the company, acting CEO to be exact. No, no, no. You're pulling my leg. All of the places in this city. The company that brags about creating its solutions of the future, always surrounded by rumors and mantras, workers' abuse, all sorts of ethical violations, trading information with governments, and ending the career of a certain promising journalist and professional fuck up who attempted to investigate them seriously. Oops. Hold on. You might be able to ask her both professional and personal questions. Two birds with one stone. I don't get it. Last time I checked, the company belonged to Kara Montgomery. I'm told she quietly took a sabbatical a few months ago, and it sure looks like the kind of sabbatical you don't come back from. Corporate backstabbing? A sudden change of heart? I didn't mean to go there. Kadir rolls his eyes. The clan of kings is not exactly known for having regrets about their ruthless pursuit of power, is it? I remember I was shocked when I first learned that one of my nemesis back in my old life was a vampire all along. When I realized her position made her untouchable to me, I was beyond mad. Huh, that would be upsetting. She even got the ups on you in the afterlife? Well, whatever happened, it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. What about her brother, Jesse? You asking me? Last time I checked, you were the basic intel for, wait a minute, I messed it. Last time I checked, you were the expert on this company. I just handle the basic intel for you, even though I shouldn't even really be here. Yeah, and I hope you realize I am grateful. You'd better be. So is Hope just another corporate shark? Well, she is the child of Carter. A theatrical pause. He smiles as he sees me wince. But very much unlike him. He took her in for her particular multifaceted talents related to the internet, knowing he's hopelessly behind the times in that regard. I hear she's been unruly, though. Well, unruly is good. I can work with unruly. So you're telling me she might not be in a stuck-up startup bitch? Language. As I've told you a few times now, when it comes to the internet, just assume I haven't the slightest idea. I'm getting there myself. I haven't been able to check my email for 5 months, and I have no idea what the kids at BBB are talking about most of the time. Oh my God, I might be getting old. Don't worry. The moment you realize you don't give a damn about most fads you would have cared about years ago is the liberating one. Been there, done that. At the beginning of the 20th century. Old. Anyway, you'll probably hear Hope's story straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have much time, but I'll get straight to the point. You shouldn't be looking at anything in the main building. It's just a front. Ignore it. What you want to do is use the elevators to get to the lowest floor of the building. Psh, I heard stories about the double spiral basement, but I had no idea what to make of them. Every source told me a different rumor. Did any of them tell you a rumor about an army of underground ghouls? No, but I'm all ears. Double spiral employs an army of ghouls as a cheap workforce. They work and live underground, away from prying eyes, with lesser rights than regular keen employees. Perfect for business. Wow. I'm actually speechless for a second. I had profoundly low expectations at the company, but every time I learn something new about what's going on behind the scenes, I'm still surprised at the level of scumbaggery at play. I'll leave the moral judgments to you, expert. In any case, you need to reach room number 507, where the CEO supposedly resides, and then get Hope to answer your questions. His old-timey flip phone vibrates. You have a flip phone? Come on, okay, dear. Speaking of, if you got any left for me, it's now or never. I'm needed at the art hole now. I guess what's the best approach? How should I approach the building? I've told you everything I know. Just do what I do all the time. And that is, scout the situation, then decide. Right. I forgot that's what you'll do all the time. You mean scouting? No, stating the obvious. The phone vibrates again. Well, that's it for me. Arturo is pestering me to show up at the Elysium 5 minutes ago. Tell him I kindly suggest he go fuck himself. Not in 1,000 years. Well, good luck with your mission, soldier. With a mock salute, he disappears inside his car and drive away. Nothing left for me to do but head in. Still, I'm anxious. But there are two approaches to choose from, and whichever I pick, I will have to stick with. If I force my way in and assert my bad cop style, that should make an impression. Bad bitch coming in with an entire court behind her back, bluffing her way to victory. Sneaking in and politely asking for a corporation seems like the less disruptive, more me option. But it's not like being me has taken me anywhere thus far. Shit, I kind of wish I was still stuck in my routine where I didn't need to be doing things like developing a personality. It's a bit of coin flip, honestly, but I gotta make a choice here. How do I approach double spiral? Uh, let's not cause a ruckus yet. We don't know what's all in there. Hey, being aggressive is not for me. I don't even want to think about the headaches I'd have to deal with. The less destructive I am, the better the chance they won't get pissed off at me. And I do need hope to be cooperative. This good cop approach should pay off eventually. Alright, let's do this. I cloak myself in shadows and let my instincts take over. The lobby isn't well lit, so it's not hard to get behind the lone security guard. He does notice something is wrong with me. With the security cameras, and hits the display a few times. But once he's done, I'm already inside an emergency staircase and making the descent. The doors to the deepest floor are locked, but it takes just a bit of brute force. And I'm inside. Hello, Double Spiral. Thought you wouldn't see me again, huh? Assholes. I look around and find an emergency evacuation map. Bullseye. Looks like all the information I need is here. There it is, room 507. Hi, girl. Someone comes around. Looks like one of the Hope's nerdy ghouls is here to sniff around, but I'm already in the shadows. I slick away as she starts patrolling the corridor, checking if everything is okay. Cameras, body heat sensors, electronic locks. Still, I'm managing. I remain cautious, just like Kadir would want me to, but it's surprisingly easy for me to avoid security. Progressing toward room 507 is far easier than expected. I reach the double spiral offices where, just like Kadir said, hordes of ghouls are slaving away for their company. Deep learning, spyware, social media manipulation, yada yada yada. The important thing right now is everyone is staring at their own screen, so it's easy for me to keep sneaking. But this chick keep looking at me, aside from the fact that she still seems to be on my trail, only slowed by the fact she's thorough in her search. I better pick up the pace. And there it is, the final corridor. Time to announce myself. I slowly walk to the end of the corridor. There it is, room 507. The door looks harder to take care of than the other ones in this place. Probably won't be able to take care of it the same way I did the others. The door to the office of the current double spiral CEO. This fucking company. Is that how she looks in a camera? That's pretty scary. Kind of terrifying. I get pissed off, but I'm trying to control it. There's a camera by the door. If she knows what to look for, she can probably see I'm here on her screen. But just to make sure, I knock on the door. Hope? I'm a Camarilla detective, and I will need to ask you to answer some questions. Hope, I know you're in there. Open the door. I will not leave until you do. I'm here on the behalf of the Sheriff of New York City. I keep pounding on the door and calling her name. After a minute or so, a voice rings out in the intercom. Is this thing on? I guess it is. All right, I got your message loud and clear. I'll meet you in the offices. I'll be right there. Looks like you made it past poor Nastya. Get back to the offices and keep her company. Oh, looks like this is Hope. I didn't realize it was that. Looks like you made it past poor Nastya. Get back to the offices and keep her company. She's probably beyond pissed off about you eluding her grasp. But don't make a big deal, okay? Thank you for your cooperation. I'll be right there. What's up? On the other hand, clothes you could reasonably expect to find in any CEO's wardrobe. On the other, a body covered in tattoos, flashy jewelry, dyed hair, and wild makeup. The thought that she might be yet another CEO playing the nonconformist crosses my mind, but she strikes me as someone who's more than happy to live in her own little bubble. Still, I won't be fooled. She is the boss of Double Spiral. So, how did you find me? Sheriff Kadir Al Asami did. You'd have to ask him. I take out a new cigarette without thinking. You can't smoke in here, lady. Just let her. Don't treat me like I'm your enemy. I come in peace. A deep, relaxing drag. So when did you realize I was here? Right at the start. There was a momentary laser malfunction. Lasted about a second or two. Hasn't tripped an alarm, but I guess something was off. That's it. Hunches have gotten me every job I've ever had. Hunches saved my life anytime I got into a messy situation. These days, the reality is too complicated to rely on anything else. Can't find a better head of security than our Natsya, and her hunches are the main reason why. They're like a sixth sense. Do I know her? I mean, she kind of looks familiar. Let's see. Haven't I seen you from somewhere? Don't know. A club, maybe. Yeah, last year. Soon after I was embraced, I visited that one club in that refurbished warehouse, and you were there. You've got a memorable aura. Yeah, I DJ and help out there from time to time. Gotta show my face if I want to make it big. And why don't you focus on that? Following that career path doesn't exactly seem compatible with being head of security for Double Spiral. And not just because of the necessary skill sets the necessary skill sets are so different. Nasia looks at Hope. Working at Double Spiral provides a lot of benefit to someone who relies on the internet for promotion, lady. The slowed aging is just a nice perk. Lovely chat, girls, but I'd love it if you saved it for later. I'm CEO now. I have a lot of duties I must pretend to handle. I just need to ask you a few questions. Sure, yeah. Call me if you need me. I got a weird hunch about this one too. Don't worry. I'll disappear as quietly as I arrived. Yeah, I prefer to be sure that you left, lady, so that I can report it to my boss. We'll talk security later. Don't worry, this shit happens. For now, take five. Nadia leaves and I'm left alone with Hope in the corner of the office. It feels funny to stand here in front of you. Oh, and why is that? You people had me fired from my job before I was embraced. Ah, I see. You're that Sawinski girl from Lodestar. Yeah. Somehow I never put two and two together. So you're the Lambrosa rep for the city now, huh? As she's talking to me, she keeps tapping at her phone with terrifying speed. I don't feel like I have her full focus, and it's getting on my nerves. Just so you know, I have no idea why you've taken. Carl Montgomery's place, and I doubt you'd tell me, but the bitch deserves to burn in hell. Hell yeah, she does. Wait, did you just admit? Hold your horses. No, Jesus. No, Jesus. This is why no normal CEOs pay for PR to talk to them, for PR people to talk for them. I only agreed that she's a horrible person in every way that counts. Nothing more. Does she know that's what you think? That what does she know that's what you think of her? Why did she let you take her position in the first place? What? I would just cut through the bullshit. Okay, Miss Lodestar? I guess this is about Jesse and Carr covering up his creepy ass. You spent months on this case and you like some closure. Pretty much. Well, here's your closure. Double Spiral has severed practically all ties with them. They don't work here. They get no company money. They probably won't ever show up here again. The company's not their circus anymore, and the workers are not their monkeys. I'm in charge now, so yeah, if there's anything you'd like from me, I'm all ears. It wasn't just Jesse and his sister. The company has ingrained structures of abuse and immoral. I've ordered internal investigations and audits. Everyone related to those illicit activities was disciplined. Legal actions, firings, and rebukes, all depending on the severity of their misdemeanors. I don't have a stomach for all that creepy corporate shit, so I'm trying to steer this ship in the right direction. Don't know what else I can tell you. For fuck's sake. No matter how I look at it, seems like she's done everything I hoped to achieve. The Montgomery clan is over. The queen bitch, a symbol of everything that's wrong with tech CEOs, is gone. Jesse, that perverted, embezzling son of a bitch, is gone. I should be glad, so why is there a sinking pit in my stomach? Let's just keep with the conversation. So that's capitalism, huh? Is it? I think it's something worse. When I look at the online world, I don't see capital ruling us. I only see incomprehensible vectors, unknown entities constantly opening and closing various markets of information. This is something worse than what familiar 20th century terminology taught us. I don't know what it is, but it's terrifying, and it will continue until we give it a name. But, but, you look like you need some emotional support, not my depressing philosoph- philosophizing. Yeah, got got to get that philosophizing. There we go. Shit sucks, and I'm sorry. The biggest case in my professional life, solved by some weirdo who fucked Kara and Jesse over in presumably underhanded ways. It doesn't get more anticlimactic than this. Fucking hell. I want to ask her how she did it, but why would she tell me? All I can guess is she's an outcast who decided to get her hands dirty and obtain power to do something she considered good. Something I've always been afraid to do. Anyway, I feel for you, but I have a lot of work to do. So, if this wasn't just a trip down memory lane and you have any other questions, speak now or forever hold your peace, okay? I feel like a car just ran over me, but I need to keep my shit together. Right. A few days ago, the Anarch Baron was found dead in his office. Are you familiar with this case? Douglas Callahan. Of course I'm familiar. Every kindred online is talking about it. And what are they saying? They're accusing everyone. I mean, it is the internet. Are they accusing you? Why would they do that? I found a peculiar note in Callahan's remains. It had your name on it. Huh? What can you say about this? Nothing. I never met the guy. I've never even seen him. He wasn't my crowd. Then why would he have a note with your name in his pocket? Why were Walt Disney's last written words Kurt Russell? No clue. I watched her closely, but nothing suggests she's hiding anything. Well, the note actually contained three other names and nothing else. Agathon, D'Angelo, Tamika. Ringing any bells now? Her finger, which hasn't stopped moving across the phone touchscreen since I first saw her, freezes. Yeah, it kinda does, actually. It's a short list of promising unaffiliated kindred that was making the rounds in New York City a few months ago. Any case, anyone needed a hero for hire. In case anyone needed a hero for hire. I didn't know Callahan had it. I know Sophie Langley did, as well as a few Primogen. Not sure about the Anarchs, but we know who Sophie was. Rest in peace. Who could have prepared the list? One of the local information brokers. A short but telling pause. Anonymous. How anonymous? Sort of anonymous. She's obviously conflicted about whether she should tell me, or maybe she's pretending so that I worm it out of her. I've been a good sport ever since I walked through her door. Maybe appealing to her sense of morality will work. I really need your help. I want to prevent the tensions between the local anarchs and the court from escalating, and every lead helps. She briefly considers her options, then gives up. It's my sire, Carter Wayden. Oh, he's brokering information. Everyone knows that becoming the Prince of New York is his ultimate goal, and that he wants to make friends in all the high places. Sharing useful intel is a pretty effective way to achieve that. So you're telling me that he, a Malkavian primogen, sold this list to an anarch baron? Sure looks like it. Why would he suggest his own child to somebody? To have a person on the inside, just another way to further his information web. Wouldn't they realize you two are close? The story going around is he left me alone and I hate his guts. Well, at least half of that is true. She's talkative. Probably sees me as a way to undermine Carter. Let's see how much further I can push her. Huh. I was wondering how someone like you could control a company like Double Spiral. I suppose a friend in high places would explain it. Yeah, lucky me. Uh, Not happy about being a boss? Not happy about being a girl boss? Leading one of the biggest IT companies in the country? A boss, huh? Stares at dozens of displays on the wall in front of her. Do you remember the Y2K era internet? Jesus, I barely remember the internet at all. My people can't really use it. But yeah, I guess I sort of remember. Forums, GeoCities, browser wars, all of those handmade amateurish web pages. It was a golden age. Everyone was welcome to freely express their creativity and obsessions in this abstract new frontier. No formulated rules. Every site was a distinct new universe to explore. You know, as a kid, for some reason, I kept saving every web page that moved or changed me in some way. I don't even know why I did that, but today, a folder with is one of my greatest treasures. Fast forward to today, I'm the boss of a company that has one overarching goal: steer the online narrative in every possible way that benefits the Camarilla. And because the online world is so fucked right now, I can do it using only 5 websites or so. Every day, I deploy thousands of believable sock puppets to force some belief onto the masses. Right now, they are being managed by these ghouls, Soon they will be partially managed by AI. All right, look, they're trying to hit home now. Basically, an all-American version of the Chinese 50 Cent Party, a new pattern of public opinion guidance. Ever since I was a teen, I've pretended to be different people online for fun. Aping the posting patterns of others was something I turned out to be horrifyingly good at. I became even better at it after the embrace. Something about the voice of Malkov in my head. After several years, I became a one-person internet empire. I don't know why I read it like that. I became a one-person internet empire. I could impersonate anyone. And I dream of, what is that? And I dream of tulips. A humble florist from Chattanooga who strives to share positive energy with their audience using photos of beautiful bouquets, motivational quotes, and the occasional The Office gift. Volva Hufflepuff, a single mom from Brighton who reckons all these trans women must be bonkers and spends seemingly every waking moment of her life having a row with anyone who disagrees. At a Polygon classicist, a 19-year-old kid from Utah who keeps posting Y2K 3D renders of poorly proportioned, scantily clad ladies and telling his audience to remember what they took from you. Somehow this talent got me here, where it's no longer fun, but work. Work I usually entrust to these ghouls because of all my duties. I want out before my entire fucking mind gets monetized. But Carter won't have that, so I'll keep doing my best for both him and Double Spiral's investors. So that's why she wants me to look at him. I assume most of your operations focus on New York City. A lot of them, yeah. How do you imitate a New York voice with these sock puppet accounts? Living in Manhattan and being mentally unstable makes this shit easy. To a normal, well-adjusted person from outside the city, everyone here seems mentally unstable. Ever watch that 9/11 Howard Stern show? No. Check it out someday. It's educational. Ax, was it a great bonding moment? He was helping us make sense of everything. He kept saying that what we were all thinking. Then you listen to it, and it's everyone yelling that we need to nuke something, maybe the entire world. Get rid of all of the Muslims. Fuck human rights. No investigations. Take their oil. Cheery. You watch it, you study it. You witness that specific brand of humor in the face of tragedy, and you understand that nothing outside of NYC really exists for the people who live here, or the vampires. A foundational text, really. Whenever I need to get in that New York mindset for work, I let it play in the background. Works like a charm. Seriously, give it a shot sometime. Someday I might. For now, I think I will confront Vader Waiting with what you've told me. Or is it what you haven't told me? What's the story? Me? Of course I haven't told you anything. You're such a good investigator, you figured it out all by yourself. And if he asks, just tell him Kaiser sold you the info. That should do the trick. Alright, I see. Thank you. What for? I did nothing. Let Nasia show you out. And if you don't know Vander Waiden's address, just ask her. She is really helping me. Thanks, lady. Thank you for having me, Mr. Vander Wayden. No need, no need. I'll be happy to assist your investigation in whatever way I can, Miss Lewinsky. That sickeningly sweet smile. And this office, spacious but oppressive. Here's a man who knows how to subtly unnerve people. But does he even realize it? And I'm sure the presence of the esteemed Addison Payne will guarantee I'm totally transparent. Am I right, Addison? Looks like I've interrupted a friendly meeting. In the far corner of the room, I spot glasses of blood with and two spittoons, vices and follies of the rich. Are you sure I'm not wasting your time? Not at all. Busy as I might be, I can't say I'm not curious about the findings in this case. Yes, my thoughts exactly. So how are you handling your newfound responsibilities? I'm managing. I'll start by asking the obvious. Where were you the night of Douglas Callahan met his, untimely demise? Vander Waydens raises an eyebrow and then lets out a restrained chuckle. Hear that, Addison? I might be suspected of foul play. Exciting, isn't it? Carter, no antics, please. Just answer the question. Of course. Well, I was right here. Just like I told Prince Panhard. As much as I love to celebrate my power, sometimes one has to celebrate the amount of work piling up on their desk. So, your alibi is you were right here. Alibi? Ha! Yes, I suppose. Can anyone back up your story? Well, I did make a few business-related phone calls as I was working. So there's that. That doesn't really answer my question, does it? He regards me with a stare reserved for a troublesome child. Miss Sawinski, this right here is my private little fortress, a space specifically designed to make me focus. I don't really let people in to break that focus. Aside from occasional esteemed guests such as yourselves, of course, a few wonderful Mexican women responsible for the cleaning duties. So you don't have an alibi. The look in his eyes screams, why won't you at least pretend to try and get on board with my program, kid? I suppose, but why would that matter? Because I found something that belongs to you on the victim's person. Pardon me? Took the words right out of my mouth. We're not talking a murder weapon or something of that caliber, of course. No, it was a short list of 4 names, unaffiliated kindred, whose services could be useful to anyone interested in toppling the current power balance in NYC. Tamika, Hope, D'Angelo, Agathon. Excuse me, Miss Lewinsky, but I'm afraid I don't follow. How is that something that belongs to me? I haven't I have it on good authority that it's a short list you've been shopping around to anyone interested in here in NYC, be it the Camarilla or the Anarchs. Addison tenses up and his host is not happy about it. This is preposterous. I'm calling your bluff right here, miss. No, the bluff is coming right out, right now. Mr. Vander Weyden, if you want to voice concerns about the information I have, how about you voice them to Kaiser, not me? Addison turns to Vander Weyden, clenching his lips and gripping his wheelchair armrest tightly. For a brief moment, the ever-present smile on Vander Weyden's face goes missing, and the expression that replaces it reminds me of a horrifying void, like a sneak peek into what's really going on in his soul. He quickly collects himself, but the image has burned into my retinas. To think these sorts of unsavory rumors are circulating about around me, I should be grateful you let me know. So you're denying it? Of course I'm denying it, categorically. You can bet you can bet your life savings on it. Can't read. I'm sorry, y'all. I certainly hope it's nothing more than an unfortunate blunder. Et tu, brute? Come on, Addison. We've known each other for years. Yes, and what about it? I will, sweet Jesus. Addison, I will get back to you in a second. Any more questions, Miss Sawinski? Any of the names on the list sound familiar to you? No, I mean, yes. That is my long estranged child on your list. But that's just another reason why I'm flabbergasted anyone would consider it mine. I see. Well, I hope you understand why I'm considering you a prime suspect now. Yes, and I swear to clear my name as soon as possible. Scout's honor. Any more questions? I'm good for now, Sheriff. Al-Asami will probably contact you later. I will get in touch with him myself, ASAP. Once again, thank you for your work. He extends his hand towards me, practically forcing me to shake it. Then he puts his hand on my shoulder to lead me to the door. All too eager to see me off. Out of sheer curiosity, Mr. Vanderweyden, I have one more question. It may be a bit random. I really didn't need to ask it, but I wanted him to die inside for a moment. Of course, my dear. His slight strained tone suggests I may have succeeded. You seem like a person who couldn't live outside of NYC. By chance, have you listened to Howard Stern's talk show after the World Trade Center fell? A tad unsure, but once again carefully controlled chuckle escapes his mouth. Geez, that is random. But, well, New York born and raised, just like you said. Of course I did. Your opinion? Same as everyone else? It was the spiritual guidance we needed that day, coming from the unlikeliest of places. A visceral response that verbalized everything we felt. A beautiful moment of unity. Not that I meant to lowbrow jokes about Pamela Anderson and the typical shock value that show tends to offer, but as far as I'm concerned, Howard did an indispensably thing to say. Did an indispensable thing that day? What's the indispensable thing? Okay, anyway. Why are you asking? No particular reason. I thought it might give me some insight into the kind of person you are. Well, that's the kind of person I am. Just your average New Yorker. So it seems. Well then, I'll leave you and Mr. Payne to your plans of conquering the city. Conquering the... Now that's spicy. Addison, I love this girl. She's gonna go far, I'm telling you. She's got that spunk, that glint in her eye. Goodbye, Miss Lewinsky. I wish you a pleasant respite and a swift success in your investigation. Good night. I make it a point to bow to Addison's servant. Not the man himself. Doubt he even noticed, but at least these invisible displays of rebellion make me feel a little better about myself. All right, the faster I leave, the better. Julia. Father, how are you holding up? I'm fine, stumbling around and hoping for a miracle to happen, like always. No better place to ask for a miracle than behind these gates, you know. So I hear. As I pass him to the report about Aisling and Agathon, I look around, but Benoit is nowhere to be seen. Finally, a one-on-one chat. Feels nice to be able to chat one-on-one for once. Ah, yes, I knew you'd say that. I had errands to run, but I thought it might be for the best if Benoit took care of these. Wasn't in the mood for a chowder spat tonight, huh? Something along those lines. Listen, can't you think of something to placate him? Placate him how, exactly? Benoit won't accept anything less than me joining a convent. He's like a worried parent. A basic gesture here and there, showing up in church from time to time, and pretending to listen would get him off your case. I mean, I've been through this song and dance before with my own worried parents when I was a teenager, wandering in the forest until Mass was over, not even being able to smoke because they'd pick up the scent. Not the best moments of my life, you know? And a part of the reason I'm distancing myself from them. I don't need this fake energy in my life, and I'm honestly weirded out by you asking me to lie. I'm not asking you to lie, Julia. Let me ask you this way. Are you a spiritual person? I guess I am, kind of. I always was. Suddenly being able to see ghosts did not change a thing. I think it's mostly because seeing the world as purely material seemed boring to me, somehow. You are, and you were raised Catholic, so you can't find a way to express that spirituality in our church? I don't see a way right now. And why is that? Whoops. I sigh. Okay. Too many people who think my soul needs to be saved because I live with a woman, for starters. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. Like the sin of drinking blood every other night, or feeling some primal fear whenever I walk by a clergyman whose faith seems to be actually genuine. That one sounds like an excuse. That one sounds like an excuse. It's about your relationship with God, not other people. In theory, but back in the old country, I've heard my share of homilies? I don't know the word. That felt like complete condemnations of my kind, and none that would condemn hate toward people like me. And you know when church adjacent people try to stir shit around your every existence every few months, some minimal support would be appreciated. Sorry, all you can count on is silent complicity. I get it. I know there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of undeserved hurt going around, but listen, I don't even want to talk about it. I fucking hate the tone when I use when I talk about it. I sound preachier than those preachers, and my biggest dream is not to give a shit. But I remember things, like this story about a guy from my hometown, most macho guy around, with a jaw you could sharpen a knife on. He became an actor in Warsaw. Very successful, deservedly so. The capital might be NYC, but it's still a big city, and big cities go to the heads of bumpkins like us. In his case, it resulted in a dream of coming out to his parents. Oh. He was surrounded by all those stories of openly queer people. Played one, even. So he thought he had a chance at making it work. So he goes back into his town, tells everyone he's gonna live his truth. His dad, a ruling party adjacent businessman, curses him. His uncle takes him into the bushes and starts to destroy him physically. It's so bad he gets put in the ICU. His face and jaw gets ruined for good. Wow. Fast forward a year or two. With his career over, the guy is stuck in his parents' rustic house with no other path to follow. He turns to God, who tells him to forgive his kin. Everything is fine again. Angelic choirs sing of divine mercy. A kind-looking priest talks about protecting our families. A man sits in the front row of the church, a disfigured smile on his face. But that story alone didn't drive me away. One time, when I saw how blissful he was, I could swear he was actually able to hear God whispering to him. He looked like a saint. It fucked me up so bad I left. I feel nauseated now. Maybe I'm still reeling from hearing about Carol and Jesse Montgomery. Now, if we never could never talk about Now if we could never talk about it again, that'd be great. I know that I tend to sound like a loser who loves to pontificate about shit I can't change, but I at least keep trying to change myself, damn it. I won't offer any empty platitudes, but I think I understand what I was meant to understand. I hope I haven't insulted you in any way. Whatever. I've learned a lot. I've learned not to hold people responsible for what the rest of the organization is doing. It'll be hard looking in the mirror otherwise. Not that there's much I could see in the mirror right now. I'm just wondering about one thing. There is always a cross on your chest. Like how it goes with my outfit? Is it just a fashionable accessory to you? Uh, I was gonna say good night, but let's entertain him. It's an important piece of an outfit. Would that be all? Yes. Have a good night, Julia. Have a good night, Father. I find her sitting in bed, scrolling through Pinterest on her phone. So how are you doing, detective? I fall on the bed, bury my face in the pillows, and scream. That bad, huh? I don't want to tell her about Double Spiral. I still have to figure out how I feel about it. I'm just not cut out for this. Oh, shut up. If you aren't, who is? Sherlock Holmes? Hercule Poirot? Columbo? Mads Mikkelsen's boyfriend from Hannibal? Whatever his name was. I don't know. Someone who can actually put two and two together. You can't fool me into believing you're incompetent, you dumbass. I've read your articles. Don't pretend you suddenly forgot how to do your job. I haven't, but I've got no evidence, no witnesses, no promising leads, nothing. I just stumble around assuming things, talking big, blah. So you're like, I don't know, Jack Nicholson in Chinatown? And he actually solved his case, and then wished he never took it up. Was that supposed to cheer me up? I'm just saying that the situation you're in sounds an awful lot like Chinatown. Depraved elites, big plans for the city, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and that's depressing. It is what it is. I just I just think you should approach it this way and look for a solution to your problems outside of the box. Not as a mystery, but maybe like a trap to escape. Eh, maybe. I throw myself on the bed again and lie there for a bit, staring at the ceiling. Then I approach Dakota from behind and tug her sleeve to draw her attention. Psst, hey, put the phone away. Now? Come on, Jules. We can't do this every night. I've got my own work and I need to worry about amnesia. You said so yourself. Wait, wait, I said amnesia. And that is not that word. Anemia. You said so yourself. Besides, I was just looking for inspiration. I rub against her clothes with my face like a cat. You're impossible. Haven't you noticed what's going on in the news? People are going absolutely insane about this virus, canceling trips and orders, and pretty please. I can't, honey. I have to replenish my stash, and besides, I'm worried about overuse. My brain is working a bit slow, a bit too slow. My balance is off. I was just thinking how I miss meditation. She gives me clear signals she just wants an excuse. And even though it would be the responsible thing to do, I know she's insatiable, insatiable. She's usually the one who takes the initiative. Let's try a final push. I bite her ear and whisper in it. No drugs tonight. Let's do this raw. She throws her hands up in the air. Victory. Jesus, you're greedy these days. I always have been, haven't you noticed? Relationship goals. They have a good relationship. Kind of like it. Think it's cool. Julia. Oh, you're up early. Yeah, told you. Got work to do. I stretch. That's adorable. Reminds me of that one quote you always used to throw around. A lot of people say you can't smoke dope and get drunk when you got kids, and that's not true. You can, but you still got to get up in the morning. That's being responsible. That's the one. I never understood why it was so hilarious to you. Neither did I. I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm a responsible person. Are you planning to have kids? Not in a million years. By the way, you've got mail. An envelope by the door. It's from Kadir. Inside is a message saying he won't be able to make it tonight, but we'll rendezvous tomorrow to meet D'Angelo. He wants me to lay low until then and to stay in the apartment, if possible. Apparently, nobody knows where Tamika is. They only know she's in trouble, and he doesn't want me near it. Well, what is it? Uh, this is just lying, right? I mean, because he doesn't really want you there. He doesn't really need you. She's trying to get out excuse to get out the building. Um, um, uh, hmm? Sorry, it's a top secret. Shit, almost caught myself putting you at risk. Phew. Anyway, I should get going. It would be fun to spend some more time together. Dakota, you know this is important to me. I know, but I'd like to know I'm important to you as well. That makes two of us. Just a few more days, I'll find the killer, kick his ass, get a promotion, and we'll do something we've never done before. Like what? Good question. I'll think of something. For now, catch up with your work. I need to get going. Fine. Good luck. Stay safe. You know it. This place is weirdly empty tonight. Ah, well. I'll have the usual. I feel there's a big what are we doing in this relationship talk coming if I don't change my ways. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already happened. But most of the time, Dakota has seemed happy enough just listening to the stories of my unlife. Even if it's all boring and normal to me, it's exotic and engrossing to her. Guess I have that going for me. Ah, well. I have no idea what to do tonight, so I'll just vagabond shoes or longing to stray right through the very heart of it, or however it went. Time to lose myself in these busy streets and pray that the answers I'm looking for are out there. And if they're not, maybe I'll at least find some amusement or blood instead. No, I don't want to be part of your goddamn interview. Look, I cannot be bothered for one goddamn second. You're not listening. Who is this? Prince of Cats? I need to resolve this thing with Dakota. As if going around in circles on behalf of the court wasn't stressful enough, maybe a visit to some quiet neighborhood will help clear my head. So, camera lady, Prince of Cats. Let's go resolve things with Dakota. There it is, that distinctive vibe of Manhattan's residential area. Once again, looking like the bigger love of the family. All right, stop. Sniff. An unmistakable scent of casserole enveloping the surrounding is in a heavenly aura. The atmosphere of desolation makes it feel like more like a purgatory, though. There's not a single soul in sight, and ugh, crap. Looks like I'm not alone after all. Some guy exerts himself climbing a nearby tree. I instinctively take a step into the shadows to remain outside of his line of sight, but I can barely see anything from where I stand. A little closer. My inner warrior is squirming for more details. I move a few steps closer, keeping to the shadows. For a good while, all I can hear is heavy panting. Come on, dude. This oak isn't even that tall. I'm sure it looks like it's the first time the guy ever tried climbing a tree. It takes a long time for the mysterious trespasser to steady his breath and carry on. As soon as he crawls out of the tree's crown, the dim street lights reveal the face of a young guy in his early 20s. Against that spectacular night sky, and with his exaggeratedly tormented romantic gaze, he truly looks like a hero befitting the cover of a Harlequin paperback. He sizes up one of the longer branches. It seems sturdy enough and nearly reaches a narrow window on the second floor. Still, the guy is hesitant. All right, no biggie, just eyes on the prize. He moves a few steps along the branch, his feet slipping every other step on his way to the window. By some inexplicable fluke, he manages to keep his balance. Once he makes it far enough, the branch slowly bends under his weight. He kneels down, probably calculating his chances to make it over to the windowsill. My guy, if you pull this off, it will be a legit miracle. What? Somebody there? Ah, shit. Should have been more careful. The trespasser pivots rapidly. Startled by the sound of my voice, just as he notices me, he loses his footing and dives straight into the front yard of the nearest house. Ah, shit. Damn. That sounds painful. He drops to the ground with a muffled thump. Luckily for him, the lawn hasn't been trimmed for a while, and the tall grass cushions his landing. Somewhat. As soon as he recovers, the guy gets up and starts limping towards the fence. He tries to climb over, but quickly ends up back on the ground, clutching his leg in pain. He turns to me and starts begging under his nose. Hey, you. Ouch. Shit. Please. I'm hurt. Do me a solid and open the door, or open the gate. Well, with his ankle twisted, he's not going to get out of this mess on his own. And it's not like I'm particularly law abiding. I'll help him. Let's see where he going. Where he got going. So, why shouldn't I help him? Just stay where you are. Don't move. I don't know how to. And shut the fuck up. Damn. Relax. I got this. In two swift, bouncy steps, I reach the front gate. Obviously, it's locked, but it's not like that ever stopped me before. Once I'm sure no one can see me, I focus my strength on the gate and pry until the quiet cracks announces that the lock is given in. The extraction goes as smoothly as it ever could. I get in quickly, take the guy by his arm, and help him slowly limp out of the front yard. I let go of him a few steps later. He leans against the fence with notable relief. Ouch. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. The hell were you doing up there? Well, this is embarrassing. More than falling on your ass like that? He chuckles lightly, looks up at the window, the same one he was trying to reach a few moments ago. This is gonna sound pathetic as hell, but my crush lives in this house. Her shithead father kinda hates my guts, so we get together in secret. Because of her folks nagging, she can't seem to make up her mind about us. She explicitly told me not to swing by her house, but you thought it was a good idea to climb up the walls of her keep keep like a goddamn Prince Charming and break your neck in her front yard? My remark really gets to him. Yeah, but what can I do? Give up on her? When in my heart of hearts, I know she loves me just as much as I love her. It ain't easy being this cheesy. She's got you good, huh? That she does. Well, throw a rock at the way. Damn, am I gonna eat the guy? I gotta eat the guy. That would be rude. And he's a black guy. He's the only black guy. Well, not the only. One of the few black guys we've seen in this game. We're not gonna eat him. I was planning on eating the next guy that they had gave me the opportunity to eat, but since it's this guy, he just want to see his girlfriend. I'm gonna tell him to confront her father. Listen, you look like a big boy. Get your act together and confront her father. What? Like right now? No, you bozo. Fix your leg first. Then rehearse the best damn speech of your life and talk your way through his prejudice. Even if that fails, at least you will show some guts. I mean, I agree with that. Agree with that. Dads like that, you know. Daughters too. Shit, man. I guess you're right. There's no point in delaying the inevitable, is there? He nods at me with gratitude and waves goodbye before limping off to wherever he lives. Even though my hunger entices me, I do not follow. At least my peeping eyes scored another victory tonight. What a cute story. Heartwarming. Nostalgic. It's just too bad it's too cliche to steal from my writing. What? You don't write anymore? Yeah, but it's not like you can simply stop thinking like a writer, eh? Gotta use that energy elsewhere somehow. But for now, let's just start heading downtown. All of a sudden, the world ends. Everything stops. I'm lost in darkness, and there's not even a heartbeat to guide me. It's like sleep paralysis, except it feels as if I suddenly woke up from reality instead of a dream. Instinctively, I react to it the same way I used to react whenever I woke up in the middle of the night, aware but not able to move or speak. I just wait for it to pass, but instead of slowly regaining control, I just see a bizarre room emerge from the darkness. Just look at her, flesh refusing its fate. It is. It is not the one you were looking for, is it? He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep is silent before the shears, he did not open his mouth. There is none righteous, not even one. There is none who understands. There is none who seeks for God. All have turned aside. Together they have become useless. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. Raging waves of the sea foaming up their own shame, wandering stars from whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. For we wrestle against flesh and blood, but not flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Whenever I become with one with the darkness, there's always this nagging fear that it might be impossible to become normal me again. That instead of the shadows returning to be dragged somewhere else, somewhere between the worlds, somewhere like this, wherever this is. This is the first time that fear has come true. Are you afraid? It's a bad idea to answer. Don't do it. Yes. Ah ha ha. Excellent. 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 I think I need to sit in this chair. I think I need to sit in this chair. Okay, let's sit in the chair then. I sit in the chair, still in the lean years and unworthy of joining the rest. However, the path is open, and it is the path of obligation, liability, a debt that will be repaid one day. And when she asks you what brought you here, let your response be a scent of death. Suddenly, I feel my mind beginning to drift away from here. I am slowly starting to regain control over my thoughts. No, you aren't. Yes, I am. Fine. Think whatever you want. I find myself in a dark corner, leaning against a wet, cold brick wall. I think I'm conscious again, back from wherever it was, awake, but in an unfamiliar place. Well, let's just hope it's still in New York City. I emerge from the shadows to see where I am. A source of light above my head momentarily blinds me, causing me to instinctively raise my hand. As I do, I hit some sort of garbage bag with my hand. It falls to the floor, letting loose a metallic din. What the fuck? A woman. I feel her hand grabbing my clothes. She brutally drags me closer. With one of my hands already above my head, I raise the other. Easy. Peace. I mean you no harm. How long have you been here? I don't know. I've got no idea what I'm doing. Here or in general, really. It's like sometimes the force I control figure out how to control me. What are you? A junkie? No. Your kindred. Yeah, keep your shit together, damn it. I'm Julius Winsky, the representative of the La Sombra in New York City. Camarilla? Uh-huh. I'm a Camarilla investigator. Well, if you came here to catch me, you're gonna be sorry you tried, Miss La Sombra. No, no, no. Stop right there. Stop right here. I wasn't ordered to catch anybody. I'm just investigating Douglas Callahan's death. This surprises her. She loosens her grip slightly. Callahan is dead? Nothing left but a rotten carcass and a musty robe. Well, I'll be damned. I've been off the grid for too long. What brought you here? A memory from a different world pops up in my head. Yeah, I think I know the right answer. A scent of death. She lets me go. I rub my eyes and finally get a good look at her face. She's gorgeous, and judging by her nomadic clothes and the particular fierce aura, she is probably an outlander. Well, have a talk, you and I. We'll have a talk, you and I. Sure. What's your name? Tamika. Pass me a smoke, will you? Ah, we finally meet Tamika. If it only could, if only it could, my heart would skip a beat right now. Tamika, I guess. Once again, someone out there led me to the proper path. Yeah, sure. When I pass her a cigarette, I realize I'm standing in something wet, something that smells tasty. I look at my feet and see a puddle of water mixed in blood. Oh, I get it. Were these guys first light? The high-powered gun and expensive looking outfits, flashbangs, tasers, all chosen specifically to combat the undead. I recognize that equipment from some horror stories I've heard. First Light, SI, USSOCOM, whatever they call themselves, they all bleed out the same. Usually before I have the chance to ask them a single question. Government-funded inquisitors. Some claim they're connected to the U.S. government. Some claim they're supposed to be supported by the anti-kindred faction in the unholy sea. Some have even wilder theories. You did all this by yourself? Have you seriously seen nothing? Nothing at all? I shake my head. Believe it or not, I have no idea how I got here. I just kinda let the shadows guide me. Is that a La Sombra thing? I've never actually talked to any of you. No idea what you guys can actually do. Still learning the ropes myself. Go with the flow and all that. My embrace was just a few months ago. So, oh, huh. So you folks are with the Ivory Tower now. Last I checked, you were with the Sabbat. The Camis wouldn't forgive all of the trouble you've caused them overnight. Again, I'm practically still a neonate. I just know there's a lot of bad blood between my clan and the others, and that I can expect at least one glare of pure contempt whenever I visit Elysium. Ha! I see. We smoke in silence for a short while. So, did you kill them all yourself? You haven't answered my question. You did this all by yourself? Yeah, I've been hunting these guys for the past few months. Aren't they extremely dangerous? Almost got me good last year. Took me a few weeks to get back in action. Then why are you doing this? Those motherfuckers have an unfortunate tendency to hurt people I care about. My brothers, my sisters. I see. I don't know how it is in the other cities, but here, funny enough, they only seem to target marginalized and radicalized kindred, ones that could theoretically pose a threat to the current order. Meanwhile, the establishment in New York City hasn't really changed ever since Calibros stepped down. Calibros. Is it Calibros? Quite the opposite. Every SI raid in this city has only strengthened the old paradigm. Almost makes you think that their goal is something other than protecting the citizens from the blank body menace. Tamika throws her cigarette into the puddle, unfinished, and crushes under her heel. She obviously has difficulty smoking. It's like she's only ever tried it a few times. I assume she saw me carrying a pack and decided to try it to calm her nerves after the battle. Or maybe she just wanted an excuse to make our conversation less awkward. Who knows? So, are you planning to snitch on me, Shadow Girl? And why would I do that? Let me get this straight. You really think I am dumb enough to believe for 1 second that a Camarilla investigator would just so happen to stumble upon the alley where I just killed a bunch of SI motherfuckers? If so, you're the one who's dumb, sister. I don't care if you think I'm dumb. I don't care about SI, and I don't care if you believe it or I believe it was a happy accident I met you, especially considering not even the sheriff knows where you are. But I care about solving the mystery of Callahan's death, and as it happens, you're one of the pieces of the puzzle. What? What are you talking about? I found this on his body. Well, what remained of it. I showed her the note. She tries to grab it to read it, but I don't let her. Aside from your name, we've got Hope, Agathon, and D'Angelo. You know them? Passingly. Any idea why Callahan would need a list of all of your names? I might know why, yeah. Do you? Absolutely. Do you know a man going by the name of Torque? Huh? Of course I do. Do you know about his connection to Boss Callahan, and by proxy, to this list and me? No, I'm all ears. Well, too bad, because it's classified intel, sister. Well, fuck you too, Tamika. And what do you mean by classified? Not free. Oh, you want me to spend some moolah? Oh, great. As if I were in the position to or could afford any sort of quid pro quo. But fine, let's hear it. What do you want? She motions towards the bodies. I've killed too many of these assholes. They're tightening the screws. As it is, New York City is no longer safe for someone like me. Well, not that it ever was. Oh man, bracing for something unreasonable. What I need is a way out of the city. You offer that to me, I'll give you the intel you need. Huh? Would you look at that? That's something I can handle, actually. Yeah. She raises her eyebrows. That's a surprisingly confident answer for a practically still a neonate. I'm something of an immigration officer. Psh, gotta say, you sound awfully close to a cop. Almost as bad. A bureaucrat. I know of a secret pathway that would lead you to the West Coast, 100% safe travel, and if you took it, you'd be untraceable. Sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Wait until you see how much it costs. The only reason I know of this route is because of a certain Nazi criminal group reached out to me on account of my position and offered a mutually beneficial deal regarding illegal kindred travel. Normally I refuse, but they offered me the only thing that can buy me a lot of cash. Ah, fine then. Money's not an issue. Now that's something I've never had a chance to ever say in my earnest. In earnest. Okay then. So, yeah, she should definitely help me first. I would agree. Guess you want me to help you out first? Yeah, she can't escape from me, so I'll help her first. I guess you want me to help you out before you do anything for me? Of course, but would you even accept this kind of a deal? Hell no. Right, so we need to think of something that actually benefits both of us. She's lost in her thoughts for a moment, then speaks up. Have you met Torque before? in the course of your investigation or before? I wanted to, but on the Anarch side, I only managed to meet Mia, and she wasn't keen on the idea of the two of us meeting. Ah, yes, Mia. Her expression betrays she's got some vicious stories to tell, but it would be beneath her to divulge them. Too bad. Maybe it could have been a bonding experience. Yeah, I want to know the tea. Tell me the tea about Mia. We didn't like Mia anyway. We want to know the juicy hot topics. So here's the thing. A few months ago, Torque and I were together. A lot of things happened, and long story short, I no longer feel close to him. But from now, what I know, he still feels close to me. Okay, now you're speaking in riddles, Tamika. Did y'all have sex or something, and he liked it, but you didn't? That's what it sounds like. But I could be completely off topic by your riddles. Back when I thought there might be something between us, I gave him a ring that has a lot of sentimental value to me. And since these days, sentimentality is all that keeps me going, I want it back. So my suggestion is, tell Torque's people I sent you to get inside his base of operations. Meet up with him, ask him your questions, and convince him to give me my ring back. You get to interrogate him, then I get to have my ring back. Then you hear my side of the story. Then I get to leave the city with your help. Everybody wins more than once. I don't know, it sounds like you're winning a little bit more than I am. Yeah, I get to interrogate the guy that I need to meet. Sure, that was part of the main deal. But then I have to actually get your ring back. What if he tells me what I need to know but doesn't give me back the ring? Then you're going to be like, well, fuck you, I'm leaving the city. I mean, I guess I still kind of get what I need, though. Even if I don't. Yeah, okay, I'll work with it, I'll roll with it. They will really let me in just because I tell them you sent me. They will. Trust me. She got I'm looking at her eyes now. She got the damn, what is it? It's not the, see, now I'm getting into Naruto shit. It's not the Izanami. Is it not the Izanami? No. Whatever the damn eye stuff that Sasuke had. It's not a Matarasu. It was the purple one though, so it wasn't actually Sasuke that had it. It was anyway. Back to the game. Back to the game. That sounds too easy. What caused the two of you to drift apart? Irreconcilable differences in worldview. Oh, that sounds deep. Well, I assume so, but that's a diplomatic answer. If I'm going to involve myself in the relationship drama of two ex-lovers, I'll need something more to go on. Will you? Yeah. She picks her words carefully. I realized I had become an element of his carefully crafted, projected image. Having me as a radical partner allowed him to present himself as a mediator while paying lip service to revolutionary ideas. Oh, he was using you. He wasn't really down for you like that. I see. A mediator. That's the 21st century for you. Everyone wants to be a middleman these days, and nobody wants to do what's right. You serious? Whenever I hear about Torque from the Ancilia, they talk about him like he's the second coming of Mao. Of Mao. If he ever seemed that, it's only because from time to time, people like me pushed him into doing an uneasy thing. Ever heard of the southern wolf and the northern fox? Both of them want to eat you for dinner. But only the southern wolf makes it immediately obvious. The tricky northern fox makes eyes and allows you to pet him before taking a bite. Oh, that's terrible. Torque loves to surround himself with northern foxes. They talk of compromises. They seem reasonable compared to the opposition. But at the end of the day, they have eyes on the same prize, power. Hearing this gives me a foreboding feeling, but I can't quite nail it down why. All right, tell me where to go. and I'll tell you where we'll meet later. I'm just chilling at Torque's when suddenly a shrill, loud voice pierces my eardrums.
And what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, yay, it's the pissy lady from Torque's inner circles. Are you always this pissed off? I'm about to piss off for real. Are you always this pissed off?
Only when Ivory Tower bootlickers pop up to ruin my day. If you want me to act happier, make yourself scarce.
No can do. Your boss let me in here.
The hell he did. Get out. Mia, it's okay.
Damn, Torque looked like Jesus. Pimp Jesus. Vampire Pimp Jesus. Gotta have all three titles in there. I felt like we met Torque. I think we did meet Torque last game. We did. I don't remember him looking like that, though. He must have grown up a little bit. Even though he's a vampire and they don't age. Anyway. There he is, walking through the door. One of the most infamous New York City barons, or as some people had started calling him the moment Callahan met his death, the Baron of New York City.
Torque, we've talked about this.
The situation is a little bit different now. Tamika sent her.
What? Bullshit. I wasn't able to track her down for weeks.
Well, I did. This is a reason to celebrate, not to get mad. Now, if you will allow the two of us a private conversation.
No way. I want to keep an eye on her.
You will keep an eye on the exit, and that will be enough, please. He puts on his best authoritative tone, and it works. No protest this time. Mia leaves the room. I'm sorry about her. She can be overzealous, but usually that's not a bad thing. Yeah, sure. So has she told you I've been trying to reach you for a few nights? I don't think so. Have you? Well, I'm the dumbass the court ordered to investigate Callahan's final death. So considering your connection to the case, I thought it would be prudent for us to talk. Ah, so that's you. Yeah, now I know you're probably anxious to hear about Tamika. I'm surprised to hear you two know each other. Well, actually, we actually met through this investigation. Anyway, as I was saying, I know you probably can't wait to hear about her, but I'd like to ask you a few questions first. I understand. Do your job. Do you know Douglas Callahan? Of course I did. We were both barons. Kept having professional obligations to meet each other, but that was it. What was your private opinion of him? Same as everyone else's. A racist clown mentally stuck in the 19th century who spent too much time keeping the anarchs down. Glad he's gone. You mean you're glad he met his final death? Well, you know what they say. Hate to see you go, love to watch you leave. Weren't you the first kindred who saw his corpse? I was, but it was his ghouls who found him. By the way, we've established that some of them tampered with the crime scene. They were properly disciplined for that. Convenient story. Let's move on. What's your alibi for that night? None. I was running around town the entire night taking care of various issues. Unrelated to Callahan, but I don't intend to divulge them to someone from the Ivory Tower. So you have no interest in proving yourself innocent. My official position was made clear. It's the Camarilla who are to blame. It's your job to prove me wrong. Oh wow. Kuramac. At least for once, can I face a problem that can be solved with pure logic, not politics? Any findings on your side I should know of? Ask Mia. She's the one who handled the murder scene. I'm not privy to all the details. Hope, D'Angelo, Agathon. Any idea who those people are? Can't recall, sorry. I think you at least know who Agathon is. Come on, Torque, stop lying.
The evidence I've found suggests a potential link between Callahan and Tamika. Any clue? I knew both of them well, but as far as I know, they've never met. That's it. Oh well, not sure what I expected. He's the kind of guy that could only be pushed if I talk, to talk if I had something concrete to push him with. Time to move on. Well, regarding Tamika, finally, I'll cut straight to the chase. She wanted to inform you she will be skipping town for a while. The SI is hot on her trail and she needs to clue them at ASAP. Oh, for I've told her countless times. If she's in danger, I will always be there for her. Does she think she can find a secure way out of the city in this situation? She's safe, so you say. She's got some other friends in high places. She'll manage to get out. Gotta admit, that's not what I expected to hear, or what I wanted to hear. Why did she decide to contact me? She wants her ring back. His aura changes in the blink of an eye. Ah, I see now. So that's why she didn't show up herself. Wouldn't even face me when delivering the final insult. Uh-oh. Looks like I stepped on a landmine. She said that the ring was a symbol of the trust she put in me. No way in hell I'm gonna give it away. Not until she gives me the chance to explain myself. See, I knew he wasn't just gonna give up the ring. See, now we've been put into most stuff. I need that ring to get Tamika to talk. But with the way he's acting, it doesn't seem like he'd be willing to be part with it. It might require me to act shitty, but maybe time to change my approach. No, be brutally honest. Lie through your teeth. uh, will he? I think he's too smart for a lie. He's very well put and calm. You know, we got to be brutally honest. Fuck it, here we go. Listen, you're obviously the hottest new thing in town. People like you, people follow you. You're said to be the anarch people think of when they think of New York City. Good for you. But you're obviously way behind when it comes to understanding relationships. Tamika gave it a serious try. She understood her path. She understood yours. She realized they're diametrically opposed. And that's that. You're not going to change her mind by acting like a toxic shithead and forcing her to come to grovel at your feet if she wants to get back something that has a great sentimental value to her. You want to earn her trust again? Don't act like a power tripping asshole. Show her you're capable of responding to her concerns and that you're capable of being selfless. That's the only thing you can do to change her mind. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. Ah, fuck me in my big mouth. Ugh. He approaches the door and throws it wide open. Mia. Yes, boss? We're done here. Lead this lady out as quickly as possible. Yes, boss. I have a lot of things I'd say to describe his behavior, but I don't want to cause a diplomatic incident. No need. I'm going. Thank you for your time. Tell her I'll show her she's wrong. Tell her I'll prove myself worthy of that ring if it's the last thing I do. Whatever. I let myself be led out of the building by Mia. Another mission failed. Time to meet Tamika and tell her the bad news. Damn, we've just fell everything. Are we even gonna solve this case? I find her already waiting in the front of the Jewish Museum. How did it go? Let me put it this way. I'm not surprised you dumped him. So you did not succeed? Nah. He got mad and started yelling about how he will yet to prove to be himself to be worthy of that gift. Then he ran me out of the building. Pfft. Ha! Pfft. Is she trying to stop herself from laughing? What's so funny? Nothing. I'll be honest. I kind of expected that. It's just nice to get a definite confirmation he's still a bit of a toxic asshole. That's all. Well, glad I fell for the oldest trick in the book. Would it be cool if, for once, a kindred telling me to do one thing didn't mean another thing entirely? Oh, don't be mad. I wanted to be sure of something, and now I am. As far as I'm concerned, you've kept your end of the bargain. It's time I repay the favor. Thank you. Last year, a certain fledgling appeared in the city and attempted to build a courtier. Oh, yeah, this was me. This was me. That list you found on Callahan, that's the list they've got. They contacted each of us, then found themselves in deep shit. SI, Kaiser, Sophie Langley, some shadow players manipulating everything from behind the scenes. Then they disappeared. Kaiser. That name popping up once more again. It can't be a coincidence. No one knows where or why. Doesn't really matter. That happens when you punch your way above your weight. Hope they're doing fine, despite all odds. Me too. In any case, Torque got involved, too. That's how I met him, actually. He got hurt. Didn't want to say how. Claimed it could put anyone he knew who knew it in danger. Whatever happened, it gave him a chance to drive and the desire for change. It gave him the drive and the desire for change. For 2 months, he was a beautiful kindred, plain and simple. But suddenly, something in him snapped. And it snapped overnight. His tone mellowed out. His actions became timid. His language became more befitting of a political science student than a charismatic leader. I assumed he met someone who made him an offer he couldn't refuse, but I had no idea who that was. And then, one night, I followed him when he went outside, and I saw him scheming at the docks with Callahan. When he came back, we had an argument. When he refused to explain himself, I knew I was on my way out. And that was that. I understand. Wish I'd known that earlier. Might have confronted the facts with him and learned something more. He never told me of all the kindred. What makes you think he would have told you? She's got a point, I suppose. All right, thank you. Now it's my turn. Here's your way out. I point at the manhole below our feet. Here's a map of the sewers. Follow the route, then bury it. You'll be looking for a one-eyed Nosferatu wearing tactical gear. Tell him I sent you, then give him the agreed upon amount of money. What kind of route will I be taking, anyway? An armored van full of precious coffins. My man knows how to arrange them to allow for unnoticed extra cargo. Her face darkens. The circulatory system. What did you expect? The rich and powerful always get the blood they want, one way or another. At least tonight, one of their routes will be used for something good. She drops her shoulders in resignation and opens up the manhole cover. Fine, but remember, if this doesn't work, I'll be back at your doorstep with a vengeance if it's the last thing I do. I'm sure it'll work out fine. Just be aware of the giant albino ghoul alligator while you're down there. Tamika rolls her eyes. Sewer ghoul alligator? For your information, it's just a story New York kindred tell you neonates to mess with them while they're still gullible enough to believe anything they hear about the New World. Oh, that makes sense, I suppose. Wow, they just fucking with her. Well, this is a goodbye. If in a few months you hear that the First Light presence in Los Angeles has been decimated, assume that against all odds, I'm still unalive and kicking. If you keep killing indiscriminately, you might cross a line of no return, you know. Shouldn't you take it easy for a while? Not until my brothers and sisters in blood stop being slaughtered. I care about what's left of my humanity, but turning a blind eye on kindred in need of what would be an even less human. So that's the kind of person she is, and probably will be until the very end. It must be comforting, in a way, to know how your path will end, yet to follow it all the same. I could never do that. Here's some parting advice for you. We might be monsters, But we were lucky enough to be born into a world that's even more monstrous than we are. If we rebel against it, if we rebel against it, we might still find salvation. If only I could believe it. Didn't expect the preaching tone. Why are you telling me this? Because I think I have a pretty good nose for people's auras. And when I take a good look at you, somehow have a feeling you're a surprisingly decent person. Whatever way of unlife you choose, I hope you don't change it and that you remember my advice. Huh, that's the only thing I expected her to say. I don't really know what decent things I've done lately. See you in the next life, Julia. Safe travels, Tamika. I skipped tonight's visit to the church. I'm not in the mood to see Benoit. I'm still embarrassed about yesterday's outburst. And I'm kind of pissed off that none of the clan elders in Chicago bothered to reply to any of my fucking reports. No advice, no feedback, nothing. I feel like I was left utterly alone. Besides, it's late. I always get back to the apartment early in the morning, right before it gets bright. It's getting risky to be out here so close to sunrise. Accidents can happen. I try to get back earlier tomorrow night, attempt to surprise Dakota. Yeah, I'm back. Yay! How was work? All caught up? I managed to get my deadlines postponed. All our clients are canceling and delaying orders left and right. Huh. Does that mean you'll have time to help me with my makeup tomorrow? We'll see. Perfect. All right. I need to disappear before the sun catches up with me. Hey, yeah, I love you. Oh, an uneasy silence fills the room. I'm not getting out of this one, am I? No, I have to. I didn't lie to the Baron of New York City tonight, so I'm not going to lie to her. I know. Wow, that's all you say is I know? Come on, Julia. She flashes a sad, forced smile as I leave to rest. Wow. That's all you say, Julia? I know. Yeah, you about to lose. You about to lose your girl, Julia. Better fix it. Fix it. I finally reached Finally reached bit. I finally reached Big Beat Burger, hoping to recuperate from all the mental damage accumulated over the past few days, only to find out the doors are locked and nobody is inside. No, no, no. I need to be soothed. I need my routine. You've absolutely got to be kidding me. Closed? What the fuck do you mean closed? I mean, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Everything's closed. Pandemic? What pandemic? Do you live under a fucking rock? It's a new SARS virus, straight from China. The whole world is going crazy over it. People are dying left and right. Holy shit. I didn't know something like this could still happen in this day and age. Somehow, it always felt like we were beyond it. Well, I guess it's lucky I'm dead. I walked away to avoid bringing more attention to myself. Now I understand why NYC feels downright apocalyptic tonight. It's like a psychedelic experience to see the familiar streets empty and abandoned. Well, let's see what parts of the city are still alive in the middle of a plague. Do I get to eat somebody next? An aristocratic taste. All this malaise spreading through the boroughs is putting me in a weird mood. Seems like I can't outrun it, so maybe I'll intensify it instead. Smallpox hospital, here I come. Okay. Familiar smile. It took just 2 days for the city to go all the last man on earth. I probably won't have a better chance to soak in the atmosphere. Let's go here, just because I feel like I might be able to feed here. I entertained the thought of sneaking through a hospital to see how things appeared up close, but it looked like an actual war zone, so I decided against it. So where did you go actually, Julia? I'm thinking I'm about to go to a smallpox hospital. I don't know what I expected with the way the healthcare uh, reforms have been going in this state. Fewer facilities in poor areas, fewer beds, less funding. We're just reaping what they've sown. That's why I used to That's why I used to honestly consider going back to the old country. An American friend was like, "Why would you go back to the shit to that shithole?" He was shocked to learn we have normal, free healthcare. Anyway, if an active hospital won't do, this one might. The smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island, built to quarantine the poor and the unloved victims of pandemics away from normal citizens' eyes. In spite of its disrepair, or maybe partly because of it, the architecture still manages to perfectly convey the building's painful history. There are ghosts here, but they mostly are the good, metaphorical kind, not the kind I usually see. Looks like there also might be a lone physical being here. I hear someone sneaking through the ruins. That's that for my peace and quiet. But oh well, I needed that to satiate my thirst anyways. How do I appreciate? How do I appreciate? How do I approach that person? We don't want to talk to them because that's gonna make me probably get to know your meal. You don't want to get to know your meals. They might be a nice person. Then you be like, okay, I can't eat you now. So we're going to subdue them. Well, no, we don't have to use our powers. Just through the shadows. I become one with the shadows. I let the flow of the void take me into the direction of the footsteps. Eventually, a female shape appears in front of my eyes. Slowly, I emerge from the darkness behind her back. Wah! Only to spook my target the moment I do. In her panic, she drops something on the floor. It breaks into 1,000 little pieces. God, don't scare me like that. Um, uh, I'm sorry? Ugh, look what you made me do. She kneels to pick up the pieces of some sort of ugly glass sculpture. The shape is familiar. Was that was that a Scrooge McDuck figurine? Yes, it was. A Karl Barks design. They stopped making these decades ago. You don't even know how long it took me to find it. I was really looking forward to decorating my haven with this. Ugh, a Scrooge McDuck? It's pop art, okay? Haven, of course. Now I realize what I couldn't put into words. It was the feeling she might be kindred. She seems airheaded and eccentric, but I wouldn't want to pick a fight with her. Call it a hunch. Oh, okay, damn. I can't bite her because she's a fucking vampire. I apologize. My name is Julia. I'm a somber representative for this city. Some representative you are. Absolutely horrible first impression. Somehow we've never met before. You live here? I prefer to keep myself these nights. I prefer keeping to myself these nights. More time for hobbies if you hide in secluded places like this. What's your name? Ah, just call me Princess. Princess? My true name is for friends only. And after destroying my treasure, I count you a sworn enemy. When you at least expect it, I will find you, and I will trap you in a reality of eternal pain. I should complain to the court at least, honestly. Tell Helene to start looking for a replacement. So sorry won't cut it, huh? Kadir would surely be thrilled to see Prince Helene assign me with a mission of looking for a rare Scrooge McDuck statue, but I prefer to avoid that fate, even if it doesn't seem very likely. How can I make it up to you? Should I, search for a replacement online or. Huh, whatever. I'm not going to lie to you. I prefer not to stay mad for too long. It's exhausting and it's a threat to your beauty, both inner and outward. So yeah, I think I'm going to ask you for a small favor that will be square, and I won't have to worry about becoming ugly. Sound good? What favor? See, I'm super into low arts these days. That's why I collect stuff like Scrooge McDuck lamps. I used to be hardcore into high art before, studying the harmonic structure of Bach's cantatas, taught myself Arabic just to weep over Middle Eastern poetry, read a lot of Joyce and Adorno, etc. Eventually, these hobbies got boring, as all things do. So I'm switching it up now. Comic books, heavy rock music, modern Hollywood movies, stuff made for small children, basically. Oh, wow, very condescending tone there, lady. The problem is, I think I'm still not low enough. Still too much mastery of the form, too much restraint, too much respectability, too much tastefulness. I want to feel the rush of gazing into the soul of someone willing to admit truly degenerate desires and possessions. Oh, you're trying to get into some kinky stuff. So I want the lowest kind of art you can find. Just sweep me off my feet and we'll be good. Not the kind of request I expected, but how low is too low? There's no such thing as too low. Huh. Okay. Back when I was alive, I refused advances from a guy who lived outside of Astoria. He definitely still owns some incredibly low art, but what exactly should I get her? A fantasy book, an anime DVD, or a video game? First of all, stop being disrespectful. A video game, I would not consider low art. Thank you. Most games, most respectable video games are not low art. So just there's that. A fantasy book, mm, you can argue that. An anime, also very much arguable. We'll go with anime. Okay, I'll be back in a jiffy. It takes me just over an hour to get there. Wake him up in the middle of the night, mess with his little head, mess with his head a little, and get back with an appropriately low work of art. So, I've got something. Don't be shy. What is it? I pass her a DVD box with a busty hand-drawn girl licking a giant katana. According to a description he printed for me, this thing is named Ririsu no Daibuken. Daibuken? The cover says Lilith's Carnival. Yeah, no idea why the name is written like that. Anyway, the 90s original video animation presents us with the tale of five big bosomed samurai warriors traveling through America in the search of General Hastavista, the Incubus King. Don't let all the titillation misguide you. The main draws here are peerless direction, a nearly avant-garde editing rhythm, and dialogue that coyly comments on traditional gender roles in anime. Once you see the animation in the final battle, you'll understand why it never fails to set a Sakuga fan's hearts ablaze. Note, Sakuga Uncountable in Japanese animation anime, a sequence of notably higher quality used to highlight a particularly important scene. So yeah, it sure does sound like a low art, Hey, I'm glad she definitely sold that movie. Like you ain't know nothing about it. She gave you the whole description. Really trying to let you know about that. All right. Eyes down. I await her response. This is great. Is it? Yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I can feel that it's utterly degenerate and naked in its intentions. Just what I needed. Believe me, I've had more than enough of art trying to dazzle or win me over or be used as a stepping stone in someone's illustrious career. I just want someone to be like, screw it. I don't want to impress anyone. I don't want to get anywhere. I just want to vomit out my soul for all the freaks like me to see. I think that in its own way, that might be the ultimate form of art. I agree. Crazy enough, princess, as crazy as you sound and look, I agree. I agree with that. Sometimes, art is just letting it out without trying to worry about if you're gonna get money or paid or notoriety It's kind of just for your own enjoyment. And if other people happen to enjoy it, then that's great. So my debt is paid? Eh, I suppose so. So can I know your name now? Hmm, let me think. No. She turns away and disappears into the night. Well, fuck you too, princess. Well, that was an interesting distraction from all the malaise in the city. I suppose it's time to go back to the miserable business I've been saddled with. The time comes for me to meet up with Kadir and hopefully D'Angelo too. The last position on my list. This better be good. And that is D'Angelo's agency. Looks like a dump. There. Perfect for the clan of the hidden. I thought he wasn't hidden. I thought he was missing. And to be honest, I kind of expected the worst. Why would we look for him in the most obvious place? I've been asking around and I've got a hunch. Just trust it and start looking. Fine. Who is D'Angelo anyway? He's a good man, a useful man, but it took me time to get used to him. He takes sleuthing very, very seriously. His thing is acting like an, uh, idiosyncratic noir detective. I heard it helps him cope with something, but I never felt comfortable tackling the subject. Doesn't sound too quirky by this city standards. Wait, what is that? There's a rat on the floor, frozen in an unnatural position. Weird shit. Examine it. Despite my disgust, I picked the rodent up. Now that's what being an investigator is all about. Leave no stone unturned. Shut up. This is so gross. What have you found out? I take a close, hard look at the rat. It's alive, but from what I see, he's just stretching out and like grinding his teeth without a care in the world. That's called bruxing. What? When a rat chatters his teeth, that's bruxing. He's not acting panicked or aggressive, so I guess he's just happy. I look at his face. I don't know. His eyes keep coming out of the socket and going back in. It looks disgusting, like he's in a lot of pain. So he's boggling. He must be really content. How does he know so much about? Never mind. I'm getting an eerie feeling. Right, this weird conversation of talking about these damn rats. This is weird, man. I have a feeling that there's a kindred hiding nearby. Weird. My thoughts exactly. Kadir slowly approaches the secluded corner of the room. And there it is. He kicks a pile of clothes lying on the floor. I'm just a corpse. Leave me alone. Lucky for you, we're all corpses here. D'Angelo, you're among friends. Ah, we remember. Now that the name, now that we've said the name D'Angelo a million times, I forgot that's the copper guy, the guy, what's the name? Who was a cop? The Nosferatu, who's a cop. Yeah. Clumsily, drunkenly, the pile of clothes transforms into an unkept man who looks like he's suffering from some sort of skin disease. You know, a true friend would just bury me. Unlucky for you, we're not that kind of friends. Oh, that was the wrong person, my bad. Lucky, unlucky, schmucky my ass. How did you guess I was here? See, I've been asking around for the past few days. What I've learned is that for reasons that can be best described as nebulous, you've made quite a few enemies since last year. Yeah, tell me something I don't know. And one thing that caught my interest is how everyone has it on good authority that your place was raided a few times without you being found. Yet, nobody has assumed responsibility for these acts. Hell, doesn't this den always look like it was just raided? Can't blame anyone for making an educated assumption. I had a hunch these might be more than rumors. See, it sure looks like a convenient coincidence when everyone hears something that makes them look the other way, and coincidences are for fools. Well, you've got my number, and you can see my ugly mug right in front of you, so it's no use playing dumb, I suppose. Agreed. You've seriously spent all these weeks holed up right here, in here. Is the hunger not getting to you? You've got a lot of critters around this area, and we've become chums. Some of these rats actually got addicted to the kiss. They come to me every night acting like hounds, begging for it. Been getting them drunk just to get some kind of rush out of feeding on them. Feels a bit like slaving a horribly burned piece of pizza and ketchup. But in this situation, I'll take what I can get, you dig? It's so gross I fail to keep my poker face. He notices. So who's the dame? Julia Sawinski, a detective investigating Baron Callahan's death. He raises his head for a short while to stare in Kadyr's eyes and treat him with a vulgar snicker. Phooey. So somebody has finally put the old man on ice. Whoever did it did the whole world a huge favor. Absolutely. But I got orders to establish who that was, and I've been stumbling in the dark for the past few days. We need your help. I'll be damned. Your sleuth skills must really not be up to par if you're begging a bum for help. It's an unusual case. How so? It's extremely political. Phooey. I ask, how is it unusual? It feels like the game was rigged against me from the start. Like I'm just bumbling around and achieving nothing while everyone laughs behind my back. Geez, you sound hopeless, kiddo. Haven't you ever read a Chandler book? That's how it always is. Just do your best, endure the embarrassment, and hope that you stumble on the answer by accident. He accidentally lets a metal flask on his hand slip out and fall to the floor, then struggles to pick it up. Kadir can't bear to watch. God, what happened to you, Gianni? I've never seen you this low before. Stress-related disorders causing a disruption in my routine is what I think a shrink would say. Happens when a lot of you shady folks are out to put a stake through your chest. Help us out. Tell us what you know, and we might be able to help you in return. Yeah, respect where it's due, miss. But I think it's gonna be the other way around. I ain't telling the two of you shit, pardon my French, until I know I can count on some protection. Gianni. Don't you Gianni me, Kadir Al Asami. I know your level, but I also know that your honor is one of the things you care about. You want me to endanger myself, you put it on the line for me. And that's that. You either promise to extend your protection to me, or the moment you step away from here, I sneak into the sewers and that's the last time you'll ever see me. Kadir shoots me a weary sideways glance. I know. He drives a hard bargain, especially for someone whose sense of self-worth does not exactly appear to be sky high at the moment. Maybe, but I do value my unlife quite a lot. Thank you very much, friends. Kadir sighs. All right, but 3 months from now, or the moment Prince Panhard tells me it's no longer possible for the court to offer you safety without compromising its principles, you're on your own. No negotiations. That's the only deal I can strike with you. Take it or leave it. D'Angelo scratches his head, grunts loudly, tugs on his mask, and stands up. That's the Jake with me, big fella. That's Jake with me, big fella. I might have strong opinions about Panhard, but hell, I'm sitting on dynamite. I'll take what I can get. Who else in New York would you rather rely on? You want me to call the mayor? My opinions about the prince aren't that Bad. So, what do you do? What do you good folks want from me? Who wants you dead? Starting the interrogation with a tricky one. Wouldn't I like to know? Step up, Gianni. You seem to be forgetting how quid pro quo works. Wouldn't I like to know? Won't cut it. Well, what can I tell you? That warlock Agathion, or whatever his name is, presumed dead. Tamika, MIA, with SI on her back. So possibly KIA by now. Hope, the cook, hidden in her office, under Vander Waden's skirt. Around the time they started having trouble, some rough-looking streetwise kindred started hanging around at my usual spot. Didn't take me long to connect the dots. Wait, what was the connection between you and those three? Ever since last year, folks started hiring us to get for various gigs. Some even trying to get us to join their coteries. All of these opportunities were rather short-lived. However, the delicate tightrope act of working for various employers made us fully aware there's an intersect alliance in NYC. Kindred from both sides often work for the same goals without knowing it. The moment we started figuring it all out, a cleanup crew went downtown. I know the serious warlock boy sniffed up something out of his own backyard, but then poof, he disappeared. Yeah, they talking about me again. Then I lost all contact with Hope and Tamika and went AWOL. Hope they're doing fine, and they didn't snitch on me to anybody. They are, and they didn't even tell me you guys knew each other, so I think you're safe. Huh? Wait a second. Why are you milking them for intel, kiddo? I found a list of 4 names on Callahan's remains. You can probably guess what they were. I get the picture. Yeah, Christ Almighty. I've heard it was just a list of freelancers, potential associates, probably prepared by Carter Vanderweyden. Hmm. My money is on him being involved. Who might have done the boss in? Any more clues? None at all. That's where you want to come in, friend. We want you to come in, friend. Investigate the murder scene. The way only you know how. Tell us what you think. Guide Julia in the proper direction. D'Angelo sizes me up, scratching his head. Sure, whatever. I'll treat my best. I will try my best, kiddo. Lead the way. I'll drive you there, or at least as close as possible. I wouldn't be welcome that deep in the Anarch territory. Just clean yourself up a bit, Gianni. I just had my upholstery cleaned earlier this week. After dropping us off at the same place Catherine first introduced me to Mia, Kadir quickly drives away. Here we are. Swell. A classic closed room mystery. Let me take a look. He starts walking around the office, carefully taking in every element. So you're saying you're basically a nobody, but you can simply call Catherine Weiss and have her open Sesame and an Anarch crib for you? Don't know, sure sounds like somebody to me. Don't misunderstand me. I only met her during the course of this investigation. Everyone's basically been treating me like dirt wherever I go, and I'm only acknowledged enough to legitimize this champ, Lord Castlereagh. Castlereagh? Now that was an abrupt interruption. I was busy sharing, damn it. Excuse me. He's pointing at the painting of the man overseeing the entire office. I met I met Murder on the way. He had a mask like Castlereagh. Very smooth he looked, yet grim. 7 bloodhounds followed him. He seems to have completely switched his modus operandi upon seeing the murder scene. He's in his own little world, and his behavior has become more machine-like, erratic. I still don't follow. I never knew this old Irish coot was into the Napoleonic era. But then again, I have no idea about his exact age, of course. So maybe that's when he lived or was born. Anywho, pay minimal attention to me, all right? Who am I looking at here? Right, right. That's one Lord Castlereagh, born as Robert Stewart, a British Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs at the beginning of the 19th century. Incredibly influential, incredibly hated. Ask one fella about Castlereagh, and he'll tell you he was the man who destroyed Napoleon for good, the man who shaped British politics for ages, the man who built foundations for European unity at Vienna. Ask another fella and he'll tell you he was the man who destroyed the Irish Parliament, the man who cracked down on any possibility of reform and then supported the cavalry massacring peaceful protesters. He's spouting these facts like a computer. Is that the hint of a detective's photographic memory? I have to say, it's downright perverted for an Irishman to put up Castlereagh's portrait in his office. Definite proof that our victim was sick in the head. Ah, as if we needed more evidence there. Probably idolize him too. Maybe identify with him even. Yeah, that's possible. Callahan and his ilk adored those jagoffs who strive to reach across the aisle and achieve hard compromises. Too bad nobody else will ever remember them well. I feel like I should say something. I've got this nagging feeling in the back of my mind. Uh, so that was his role model, huh? Yeah, I guess it makes sense for him to have had a role model like that, doesn't it? Oppressing his own people, claiming it was all in their name, when at the end of the day or the night, they were back in the shitter and he was still on top. Yeah, sure does sound familiar. 200 years later, all these societal changes, and it still works the same for us, Kindred? That's a cheery thought. Not just Kindred. That's still how this world works, period, kiddo. Napoleon or Bourbon Restoration, communism or capitalism, Panhard or Callahan. Once the Burges establish themselves, you got to completely reset the rules of the game. And a few years later, do it again, again, and again, until you're dead or deader than dead. If that doesn't sound fine by you, you can always just join folks like old boss here, or accept this invisible noose that's getting tighter around your neck every single night. He stops above Callahan's corpse and laughs. Posterity will ne'er survey a nobler grave than this. Here lie the bones of Castlereagh. Stop, traveler, and piss. He kicks his bones with glee, causing me to jump a little. Is he still under the influence? Isn't that tampering with the crime scene? Kiddo, as far as I can see, this crime scene has been fucked with 3 times over. Can't really be ruined more than it already has. I agree, but it looked about the same the last time I was here. Then it already was a total mess before you ever got here. Whatever. Standing by the metal shutters on the top on the windows, he abruptly changes the topic. Light proof? Have you ever toyed with these things? No. In general, I avoid machinery like that. It doesn't like me, and I don't like it. They don't like you. They don't work properly. It's like I give technology an allergy. Sometimes industrial cameras mess up my face. Sometimes I can't use a phone. You think it could be useful, but it's just a curse. I see. You think these blinds could have been the murder weapon? The blinds? Well, they are metal, but there's no blood on them, right? How so? How so? Let me explain. Let's say for some reason our stiff was standing there as the sun was rising. Maybe started at poor old Castlereagh, staring at poor old Castlereagh, looking for a soulmate to accompany him to the other side. Yet another guy pushed to the suicide by politics. Pretty old school. romantic, yada yada. Or maybe it was toe poor. Or maybe it was a freak accident. Or maybe it was premeditated. In any case, sunlight would be a perfect murder weapon. No. He takes off the mask to shoot a disfigured smile my way. Well, that's just a theory, anyway. Oh, game theory. I had to do it. I'm sorry. It was a chance. Video game allowed me to do it, so I did it. And we're back. Well, it sounds sound. It does it, because I was just spitballing. It's practically impossible to make certain now, kiddo. The most logical cause of final death would be damage to the heart, and that can easily be done without damage to the skeleton. And he sets off with a wink. What is he playing at here? The safe. Anyone made a crack at it yet? As far as I know, only Callahan knew the code, and the safe itself is still pretty hard to crack. Watch me, kiddo. He presses an ear to the safe and slowly begins to rotate the dial. He must not know about this damn boy. The damn boy knows all his shit. Stop clowning around. You're a safe cracker now. When you're cursed with countenance such as mine, and you decide on a job such as mine, and you decide on a job as such as mine, you got to be a jack of all trades. Yeah, but still, sounds pretty hard. Last year there was a random feller visiting a heritage museum in Alberta. He found a safe that hasn't been opened in 40 years. Not a single specialist, nor even a blacksmith could have handled it. The man just studied the numbering, listened closely to the mechanism, attempted the most sensible combinations, and voila, the unthinkable happened. That's where just trusting your instincts leads you. Too bad he found nothing inside but an old pay sheet. A metallic screech. The door opens. I'll be damned. And it looks like we've got the same case here. Confetti. A few random papers scattered around. But for what it's worth, the lock has obvious traces of mechanical manipulation. Probably recent too. Reeks of foul play. But what do we know for sure, really? I'm done here. You can take over. Another wink, another walk in a random direction. I look inside the safe. Quite spacious. I haphazardly grab everything that's left inside the safe and hide it on my person, then close the door so that nobody knows he managed to crack it. When I turn around, he's motioning to me to come closer to a sheet of paper lying on the desk. So yeah, kiddo, you probably know the entire beeswax about Schrodinger's cat, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. But honestly, anything could have happened here. I read the text he's written on the empty page. This place is wired. Oh, nice. It gives me chills. See, D'Angelo on his shit, bruh. On his shit. I think, I think I'm okay. I've tried to record my own voice a bunch of times on different hardware just to see if I can. It mostly comes out as noise. He nods, then starts scribbling something or else as he continues blabbering on and on. The best strategy would be to make an educated guess about what happened here, then interrogate everyone about it. Maybe you'll take someone by surprise, drop a hook on them. The wiretap is a chip in the broken glass bottle on the floor. Absolutely sure it belongs to Kaiser. Kaiser, the elusive informative information broker, the talk of the city, finally got an excuse to nab him. I understand. I think I have an idea of how to use it to find him. Should I notify Kadir? Scribble, scribble. Takes longer than before. So yeah, I'll be meeting up with Kadir. You stay here, sister. Maybe there's something you've been missing. Your call, doll. You're going beyond his jurisdiction, so he will try to stop you. Whatever you do, give me a 10 minutes heads up, so I can get to relative safety. For sure. And back to the sheriff's custody for me. See you around, Julia. Sorry this old codger couldn't have been more help. eventually let Kadir know. If I don't contact him in 2 hours, let Kadir know what happened. I'll be going.
Got the picture of the moon.
Hold on 1 second, you guys.
Check my messages real quick.
Okay. I've got a plan. Now all I need to execute is it is a clueless bystander. This guy would do. Uh, do you like need me for anything? Not really. Better take a hike before the guy you've just called shows up. I can't guarantee he won't make you hurt. Ugh, will do. He puts his head down and obediently trots away down the street. I might have messed with his head a little too much using my wily kindred charms, but I needed him to tell Kaiser where I wanted to meet quite clearly, multiple times. I would have given him the kiss as thanks, at least, but I told the big man I won't be here all night and that he'd better hurry up, so I want to be ready whenever he comes. Less than 15 minutes later, a menacing black limo takes a fast, sharp turn onto my street and stops right in front of me. Suddenly, something like an acid flash back hits me. I know this limo. I've seen it all around over the past few days, but never thought it might be telling me. Still, it must have. Looks like I'm finally about to get some answers. Doors open, and a raspy voice comes from inside. Get the fuck in, Sawinski. I smile and accept the invitation. There he is, Kaiser, the king of New York City's information highways, surrounded by screens, speakers, and newfangled technological gizmos of all kinds. We remember this guy too, don't we? Yep, yep, yep. The real racist asshole. He was a racist too, wasn't it? Kaiser. First impression, he's one repulsive son of a bitch. D'Angelo was also a sewer rat, and he might have had similar physical disadvantages, but at least he was wholly endearing. With this guy, there's no room for any kind of sentiment. He's inhumanly cold, and I get the feeling he's been like this for ages. You're getting in my you're getting on my nerves, little lady, and I'm far from beyond the only one. I get the sense he meant for all this to be threatening. Instead, I'm elated. After a week of running around like a headless chicken, unsure if I was getting anywhere, finally, I get a compliment. If there's one thing I learned back in Lodestar, it was that you only know you're doing your job correctly when someone powerful gets visibly mad. I have no idea what you mean. Hey, great answer, Julia. No need to play dumb, especially considering you're natural. The art hole, double spiral, the SI, Torque's den. How does it feel to have made enemies absolutely everywhere? He scoffs at me with pure contempt. Listen, I will speak as plainly as humanly possible to get this through your little head, since it's obvious not where you're willing to read the obvious signals. You were hired for one thing, and one thing only, little lady, to suck at your job, and you couldn't even do that correctly. Damn. People keep stopping by my limo this week, telling me, Kaiser, dear Kaiser, we keep trying to make her understand how hopeless she is, but she just won't get a clue. She doesn't have any evidence. She doesn't have any testimony. But she still goes around knocking on everyone's door, causing disturbances. It's such a fucking headache. Usually I try to be a jovial host, so I cheer them up. She's not that much of a dunce, I say. She's making mountains out of molehills to make herself seem useful, I say. She's about to stop. But you, in your infinite idiocy, decided to prove me wrong. in the most spectacular fashion by knocking on my very own door, forcing my hand, threatening me even. Are you autistic or something? Huh? Can't read basic fucking social clues? Stop for 1 second and ask yourself, Chui Bono, who even fucking wants you to solve anything, let alone this case? See, this city has a delicate system set in place. Usually it's flawless, but ever since you started tinkering with it, it's been having these irritating malfunctions and it's driving people. Are you done? A weird, disgusting sound, something between a gargle and a bark escapes his mouth, like something like that. Unbelievable. All I'm hearing is that you're in possession of some sort of information that might help me solve the puzzle I was presented with. If that's the case, I'm going to ask you to share it. I swear, you're absolutely irredeemable. You fucking garbage dump of a woman. How do I get through all the rubbish in your head to drive my point in? Don't you know who I am? You're the one who had Callahan's place wired. You know what? Let. Do we want to tell? Do we want to tell him we know? Do we want to tell him we know? Yeah. Oh, I know who you are. You're the person who had Callahan's place wired, which makes you a possible witness of sorts, or even a suspect. Psh! For Christ's sakes, woman, get real. Even if your accusations were correct, then who, pray tell, who would you report them to? Do you even know what kind of people I answer to? No. Care to acquaint us? Is that really what you want? You want to know who pulls the strings? Give me 10 minutes and I can arrange a meeting. But this is your last chance to turn back. If you don't, I can tell you now, you're going to be sorry. The big kahuna? Finally. Now we're talking. Yes, the big kahuna. So this is your final answer, huh? Absolutely. Unbelievable. He takes out his phone and begins furiously typing. But he still's going along with it, so he's disappointed, but he's a man of his word, I guess. I relax in the seat. Finally, we're getting somewhere. It might be dangerous, yeah, but at least I finally will get a clue of what's going on. I'm just saying, this is the point of no return. My boss doesn't fuck around. Best case, you're going to beg him to take you in. Whatever. He keeps grumbling under his breath, but I'm not even listening. I just watch the streets go by. Until out of the blue, I experience a strong sense of foreboding. I first spot her in the corner of my eye. She's hovering right next to Kaiser with an expression that's impossible to discern. When she speaks, her voice is machine-like, yet otherworldly. Fine. We're in 5 minutes away, or so. Get the boys ready to give her the Mel Gibson special. The moment he puts away his phone, the silhouette disappears. We're 5 minutes away. Better start figuring out the ways you might prove yourself useful to the honcho. There is no honcho. Oh my god. Of course this motherfucker is setting me up. I need to get out of here now. I do the first thing that comes to mind. I grab the door handle and pull. He notices me scrabbling and struggles to grab me. Hold up, you stupid fucking cunt. Glass breaking. Loud studs of something heavy hitting the asphalt. Tires screeching. I think he grabbed me. I think he tried to pull me back in. I think we fell out of the limo. I think his body cushioned my fall. But I'm struggling to process what's going on. It's like I'm blanking out. When I come to, he's already attempting to get up, cursing underneath his breath. The limo has stopped a little further in, but whoever the driver is, he's not coming out.
fucking.
When he stands up, he will be out for vengeance. He's an older vampire who knows how strong he is. I need something that will give me the advantage. The pepper spray, of course. It probably won't be as effective as it would be on a living person, but it's still worth a try. I limp towards the asshole, disarm with the device, aim towards his eyes, and unload the entire canister. Arrgh! It worked. It actually worked. I keep up the offense. I punch him, kick him, throw him around. Damn, I pummel him. I smash his head against a curb. I struggle to harm him in whatever way I can, like a frightened animal. I don't know how long it lasts. Might be 1 minute, might be eternity. The driver steps out of the limo to help his boss, but once he sees what I'm doing to him, he runs away in panic. Feels good. Feels absolutely horrible. Once I'm done, I sit on the curb and scream my lungs out to avoid crying. Then I look at him. Oh, he's all right. He seems shocked, barely hanging on. I know what I've done was extremely stupid. I did hear how he's one of the most influential figures in the city, but that's probably why he never expected to get his ass whooped. Especially by someone like me. When he speaks again, his voice is pathetic, surprisingly close to a whimper.
You'll pay. You'll fucking pay. You lost, mislaid, and abandoned property of a woman.
He's unwell, talking nonsense. I approach him again. You wanted to have me whacked. What do you think? I'm stupid? Oh, do you think I'm stupid?
You needed to be taught a lesson.
Well, would you look at who ended up teaching who? Now talk. Tell me everything you know about Callahan's final death. All of it.
Go to hell. You can fuck me up however bad you want. I'm still not going to tell you shit. You try anything, there will be consequences. There will be retribution. My mouth is shut.
He might be my last chance to solve the case, but if I don't force him to talk, he won't. There's a burgeoning thought in my mind, but it scares me. Do I dare push him to the edge? Make him suffer until he squeaks? Huh. I think we got to get some answers. We've been spent this whole game not getting answers. We're going to get some answers tonight. Well, I'm sure you will open your mouth if I do this. I put his shin against the curb. Wait, what? And kick it with all my strength. Ah! It's a compound fracture. I barely managed to suppress my gag reflex. It feels like I'm dissociating.
You fucking psycho! You fucking psycho bitch!
He's actually weeping, like a child. It totally shatters the tough image he was trying to project earlier. Like this is the first time anyone has ever used physical violence against him. What if it is? You either start talking or the other leg goes. Then the hands. Then I will get creative. I try to collect myself and put his other leg against the curb.
I'll talk! I'll fucking talk!
The kick connects. It's a light one, a sadistic feint. It still manages to get a pathetic whimper out of him. Then talk. But this had better be good. He looks at me with pure fury, then begins to speak through clenched teeth.
You want to know who was in Callahan's office before he died, little lady? Everyone. Fucking everyone. And their mother was there. Vanderwayden, Isling, Arturo, and then Panhard. That Kimmer douche motherfucker Torque with his sidekick, all of them. Callahan thought it was that the only way out was to pit them all against each other, or to ally with every single one of them. Little did he know, it was all in their best interest for him to just fucking die.
That's good.
That's great. But who killed him? I have no fucking idea. That won't do.
Once again, I put his leg in a potentially disastrous position. In response, he starts howling manically.
You fucking sadist! You fucking monstrous monster of a woman! I really have no idea.
Who kept complaining to you about me? Who is responsible for getting rid of the evidence?
Everyone! Everyone did! Goddamn Callahan had dirt on everyone and antagonized everyone, so it took everyone to fucking bring him down. All evidence is gone. Every theory is equally true. So none of it is. Don't you see? You fucking cunt. Everyone is complicit, so nobody is. Why the fuck do you think Sophie Langley is no longer around? Why is Torque no longer pretending to be a revolutionary? Why are free agents involved? Why are they shutting you up tomorrow?
Shutting me up? Who?
Can't you connect the dots, you dumb whore? What are you, a fucking retard?
Okay, so all these these harsh tones you're throwing my way. These what's the word I'm looking for? Not accusations, really, but talking about me, I don't like that. Anyway, somebody's about to get Julia. I look back over my shoulder and see Kadir. Bloody hell. What is wrong with you? Kadir, you're out of control. This is why I didn't want you to get involved. I had a hunch. A hunch that the moment you get a whiff of true power, all brakes will be off. Look, you're talking nonsense. You're out of my damn mind. You're out of your damn mind. I should have you in a full. I should have you in for a potential masquerade breach. Just let me explain myself. This ugly fucker tried to have me beaten, maybe even killed. Don't you care about that?
I have no idea, Sheriff. No idea. She's dangerous, psychotic.
Shut the fuck up. I can't control myself. I kick him in where I know it will hurt him the most.
Ah, my fucking leg.
Stop this right now, you goddamned idiot. I freeze in place. I've never heard him use that tone with me. I will take care of you in a moment. In my car, Kaiser. Hold on. I'm not done questioning him yet. It looks like there's a major conspiracy to. I'm not gonna have to ask you to leave. I read that wrong. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and you're gonna be glad I leave it at that. If you do that, I'm gonna have to assume you're complicit. That's worth 2 strikes in my book. You don't want to risk a third. So that's that? Tell me, what was all of my footwork even for?
We'll be seeing each other, little lady.
Can you hear this? Go home, Julia. But go home. Go home, go home, go home, Steve. Julia, my bad. Fine. I won't have to take this. I'm going home. I will. But before I do, I take a quick peek into Kaiser's limo, still abandoned a little further down the street. I skipped the church visit again tonight. I want more time to finish this report. Who knows? It might be my final one. I want to spend more time with Dakota. Yeah, just forget about the rest of the world. A lot happened tonight, but I can still manage to be at our apartment an hour earlier than usual. She should be glad. I sneak into the apartment as silently as possible, trying to surprise her. Let me guess, she's not even there. When I reach the bedroom, I see something unexpected. It hits me like a ton of bricks. At the beginning, I can't properly parse the sight. But when I finally understand what I'm looking at, it causes a wave of terror and disgust to swell up inside my chest as though they killed her. Oh no, she's alive. What the fuck? She's smoking a cigarette? Is that something new? She's shocked to see me, doesn't know what to do. She's like a deer in headlights or a schoolgirl poorly trying to hide her misdeeds from a teacher. You're, you're early. Yes, I am. These are my clothes, Dakota. These are my cigarettes. That's my jewelry on the table. Yeah, I was, and I'm pretty sure, God Almighty, I thought I was just being neurotic whenever I noticed something dreadfully familiar in you. I never. I can explain. Please do explain. A good 10 seconds of awkward silence passed. I could see her spending an eternity in her head. This isn't what it looks like. Oh my God, it is exactly what it looks like. I would just come out and say it. Dakota, are you single white femaling me? It all makes sense now. No, come on, no. I thought I was the leech in this relationship. We watched that movie together. We made fun of Jennifer Jason Lee together. A roommate stalking and imitating her own roommate. What a concept, right? But I was being fed on in a far more sinister way without knowing it. Don't be silly. Silly? I've never ever been this serious with you. So whenever she put on my makeup, whenever I used her as a mirror, was she always hyping me up because she wanted to live vicariously through me? So many little things make sense in retrospect. The little ways you kept modulating your speech after me, the real ways our tastes were always compatible. Some of your art feeling so familiar. None of it would trigger any alarms by itself, and yet she's as humanly embarrassed as possible. I mean, is this really a problem? What I'm gathering, all she doing is just, I mean, it's a little weird. Let's not get that wrong. It's completely weird that your girlfriend is basically dressing like you and smoking your cigarettes when you're gone and probably in your bed. Well, y'all bed, so I guess that's normal. She's probably doing a lot of other stuff like you. But I mean, as a couple, is that bad thing? Is that a bad thing? Is that completely not normal? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of normal. You kind of take on each other's personality in some little retrospect. Maybe not as much. Maybe not dressing their clothes and stuff, but you might get a sense of style from them. So I don't know. I don't think this is as big as a deal as she's making it. But maybe she knows something I don't know. Julia, listen. Don't fucking touch me. I can barely think of anything any more repulsive than being put on a pedestal like this. It's like the other person is begging me to perceive them as someone worse, if not outright subhuman. Don't be like this. Just don't.